Hey guys, so right now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a reaction video, but this is kind of a test. Like, I know I'm able to react to Vinesauce, but what I want to see is if I can react to other stuff like top 10 lists and other stuff like that, and see if it gets blocked or muted. So right now what I'm going to react to is WatchMojo's top 10 worst straight-to-DVD Disney sequels, and so I'm going to jump right in here. I love Disney movies. A lot of people love Disney movies, so let's get right into this and play.
We often look back at the Disney movies we grew up watching with fond memories, but there are some creations we wish we could forget.
Dance around the fire yelling, "Happy days are here again!"
You know, you have a point. If this is the real Li Shang, I don't like what I'm seeing.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
I guarantee I'm gonna like some of these.
Down our picks for the top 10 worst straight-to-DVD.
I'm gonna be one of those people that actually like something more than.
Oh, my dear, Pocahontas would never allow that.
For this list, we'll be taking a look at those Disney sequels that didn't quite make the cut for a wide theatrical release, and with good reason.
Birdwell's reasons.
I guarantee I'm gonna like some of these.
Except for Birdwell.
I'll get to it.
Although we call them sequels, what we really mean is any movie released after the original, which can include prequels, midquels, and spin-offs.
This is a very special necklace. I kept it hidden in a sock for 3 years.
Number 10, Leroy and Stitch.
Honestly,
I shall name you Leroy!
I don't think I've watched this one.
Following Stitch, the movie, and Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch has a glitch. In addition to the TV spin-off series, you'd think that Disney would cool it with the Elvis-loving little blue alien.
You can never get enough of Stitch.
Instead, they gave us Leroy and Stitch, wherein Jumba is forced by the main antagonists of the movie to create an evil twin of Stitch named Leroy to rival him.
You can never have too much Stitch.
An army of Leroys threatens to take over the Earth, but luckily Jumba had installed an off command in the clones. To activate it, they just need to play Elvis.
I would totally watch this. I haven't seen it.
The movie itself wasn't unwatchable, just more of the same and entirely unnecessary.
Didn't ask what you think.
Number 9,
Oh,
Fox
hey
and the
now.
Hound 2.
No.
Big Fox and the Hound
Look
alone.
at the size of that thing. Or is ugly.
Midquels are the definition of sequels no one needed. They don't move the original story along, nor do they act as exposition for anything that happened in the original.
Come on, routine.
You're gonna see more of the
Shake
childhood.
on. Shake on.
Midquels can be good if they serve a purpose, but it seems that the only purpose for this movie is to annoy us.
Like a
Rhyme in the song, we all belong like a bird in a tree. We're meant to be like a nose and a tail, like a horse in a trail.
Todd and Copper were lovable characters.
They're still
Until,
lovable.
in this installment, they're tempted to join up with a band of hillbilly country singing stray dogs.
And what's wrong with that?
Exactly why did you
I'm
get
sorry
us
if I sound a
all
little
together?
snooty.
It's nice to see more from the early years of the pair's unlikely friendship, but we could do without performances from the Singin' Strays.
See, Todd, relationships and show business.
I feel like
don't
that's
mix.
a little prejudice.
Oh, it starts out nice and friendly. Then they get that first taste of fame, and it's look out for number 1.
Reba McEntire as a singing dog? Yes. Everything else? No, thank you.
Copper, we were gonna have some more fun.
Number 8, Kronk's New Groove.
Haven't seen this.
Things just not right here.
After the success of The Emperor's New Groove, it's no wonder Disney thought a sequel would be a good idea.
Who'd have thought, huh?
But they were so wrong.
I've got a proposition. My eggs, your raisins. We could bake beautiful bread together.
The disappointing sequel stars supporting character Kronk, who, granted, was a laugh riot in the first movie. But even Patrick Warburton, who voiced Kronk, couldn't make up for the weak storyline and lack of sass and personality that Kuzco brought to the original.
Emperor Kuzco here, coming at you live from the palace.
Currently sporting a rating of 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is less than groovy. And if anything, should convince Disney
I'm just
once
gonna
and for
say
all
Rotten
that if it ain't
Tomatoes
broke,
has been
don't
wrong
make a sequel
before.
to it.
So when you think of our brief time together here, don't cry.
Don't rely on Rotten
Martin.
Tomatoes. Just watch the movie
Number
yourself
7,
and make the
The
judgment.
Little Mermaid, Ariel's beginning.
From that moment on, the king's heart stayed dark. And music was banned
I actually hear a lot of praise for this movie.
forever.
This prequel tells the story about the time music was banned from Atlantica because it indirectly caused the death of Ariel's mother, Queen Athena.
I may not remember much about my mother, but I know she wouldn't have wanted this.
Considering the original often involved the red-headed mermaid bursting into song, it makes sense that the young Ariel would have a major problem with this.
Don't get cute with me. This is serious. Where were you?
I was just listening to music in an underground club.
It's meeting her future best friend Flounder that brings music back into her life. And by the end, King Triton decides to bring music back to the kingdom. There's nothing wrong with the story itself, but the music was what made the original so good in the first place. So honestly, was a prequel really necessary?
Well, yeah.
Not really. And don't get us started on that shipwreck of a sequel about Ariel's
Oh,
offspring.
please. I
Oh,
enjoyed that.
Sebastian, I
I'm
can't
sorry.
help it.
I'm being so
I just
snooty
love the
towards
scene.
Watch Mojo.
Number 6, Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure.
You have to obey certain rules. But I want to run wild and free like a real dog.
Did you see Lady and the Tramp and think, you know what would make this better? The exact same movie, but with their kids.
Of course.
If you did, then you're in luck because that's exactly what happened.
It's that obvious.
Couldn't miss it if I tried.
Disney decided to make a sequel nearly half a century after the fact, about Lady and Tramp's son, Scamp, falling in love with a pretty junkyard dog, complete with an homage to the famous spaghetti and meatballs scene.
I didn't know that I could feel this way.
And why did we need this movie? We didn't. Apparently, Disney just needed a few extra bucks in their pockets and figured audiences wouldn't pick up on the similarities between the two. Well, we did, and we're calling you out, Disney.
But I made it. This is everything that I've ever dreamed of.
Dreamed of what? This?
Number 5, Pocahontas 2, Journey
Now
to
this
a New
one-
World.
Welcome to London.
The
I
Native American
really
Disney
liked.
princess, based on the real-life historical figure, is all about doing what's right for her people. So when her father, chief of the Powhatan tribe, refuses to go to England to negotiate a peace treaty, Pocahontas is quick to step up and take his place.
I'm going to tell you,
Like a drum, I can't believe my
I like the
eyes.
romance between
People
Pocahontas
seem
and
to
Ralph
come
more than
in different shape and
Pocahontas and
size.
John.
But when she finally arrives in the new
I know I'm
world,
gonna get hate for
she
that,
is
but-
bullied into acting civilized and is eventually rescued by John Smith. She doesn't even get to fight her own battles.
It's John Smith! I thought he was dead!
And the ghost of John Smith. Run for your life!
Good joke.
On top of being an unnecessary sequel, the film ultimately failed to showcase how badass Pocahontas is on her own, which is the biggest crime of them all.
Get this land.
Number 4, Mulan 2.
Something wrong?
The original Mulan was perfect in almost every way. So why didn't they just leave well enough alone? Yes, it was never clear whether Mulan and Shang would actually end up together, so it's nice to get that confirmation. But not at the cost of tainting the story we all know and love.
Now this is a battlefield.
Mushu tries to break Mulan and Shang up to keep his job, which doesn't even make sense. We're tricked into thinking Shang dies, spoiler alert, he doesn't, and Yao, Ling, and Qian Po marry the Emperor's 3 daughters. Seriously.
And there's no one there to steal my chair!
And most importantly, although the voice actor who replaced Eddie Murphy did a decent job at imitating him, it just isn't the same Mushu without Murphy.
Pretty boy is gonna look so bad it'll send Mulan running for the hill.
Number 3, The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2.
Get out there, sweetie!
Last time we saw Quasimodo, he'd finally been accepted as part of Parisian society, but nevertheless chose to continue acting as the official bell ringer of La Fidèle.
Are you hiding from me?
No. What's so funny?
Unfortunately for him, in this installment, a circus of crooks arrives in town intent on stealing the bell. This premise should have made for an entertaining and action-packed sequel, but whatever promise it had was overshadowed by bland characters and utterly forgettable songs.
That golden bell, sweet La Fidel, will soon be ringing clear. The best of all the festivals, Le Jour d'Amour is here.
Jennifer Love Hewitt joins the cast as Madeleine, the love interest for the outcast. But her appeal subsides somewhat when she runs away in horror the first time she sees Quasimodo's face. It's kind of hard to root for a romance that begins that way.
I have to go. I'm sorry.
Number 2, Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Magical World.
I will never apologize!
Wait a moment.
If it wasn't good enough to be made into a television show,
I'm gonna point that out.
It wasn't good enough for film. That's the lesson we learned from
I'll
this
get
sequel,
to it.
which is made up of 4 episodes of an unreleased TV series.
You're having lunch with me.
Am I?
You are.
I am not.
Perhaps the master might be a bit more gracious.
Why should I?
This wasn't even the first sequel. A year earlier, a movie called The Enchanted Christmas was released, about how the Beast has banned the holiday from the castle.
Forbid Christmas? No one can forbid Christmas.
The stories here revolve around the odd couple and their animated household items. One of them is about how Belle and Beast can't even sit through a meal without getting into an argument.
Isn't that terrible?
Maybe if your happily ever after isn't quite so happy, we don't need to hear about it.
What's keeping you?
Oh, yes. Why, I forgot all about you.
Forgot.
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
Freed was that vengeance upon me has imprisoned me.
Hello? What do you think you're doing? Wow! Because whatever it is, you sure ain't doing it too good.
Ah! Oh no! The map! Get the map! With only half a map, we're less than nowhere! After that map!
Number 1, Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True.
This is a disaster.
There was a Cinderella
The original
2.
rags to riches fairy tale we all know and love was about a poor girl who finally got her happily ever after. This is not that story.
What am I going to do? I'm a complete failure as a princess.
Sure, at first we enjoy seeing Cinderella take on princess duties in her own unique way. But then things veer off course as we watch as Jacques the Mouse gets turned into a human, and one of the evil stepsisters, Anastasia, falls in love with a lowly baker.
Everything smells so good.
Would you like one?
Normally we'd say that if you're gonna release a sequel 52 years after a classic, at least stick to what worked best the first time, which in this case was the emphasis on Cinderella.
And why do they have to keep the palace so dark? And that awful dance. And those boring colors that all look the same.
However, Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, focused on Anastasia, and was actually a decent Disney sequel. On the other hand, even a fairy godmother couldn't save Dreams Come True from the overwhelmingly negative reviews it received from critics.
This is all my fault. Wish Fairy Godmother was here.
Do you agree with our list? What Disney sequel do you wish would disappear?
I can't even see the real you under there. I do hope no one else does.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I wait till sentences. Because I unfortunately don't have the convenience of being able to stop the video to talk. Because I have no idea how to do that with my free video editor. But I would like to point out a good thing. One thing I feel like I should point out, which was a contradiction that they point out, is for the second Hunchback of Notre Dame, is they said that they don't know how you can go off of a romance where she is horrified or terrified of the first time of seeing Quasimodo. Well, that's kind of a contradiction since Beauty and the Beast was literally one of the most famous Disney movies, and I'm pretty sure that Belle was terrified when she first saw the Beast. Just saying. And also, I actually like a good number of those, especially Pocahontas too. But like I said, and the music in Pocahontas 1, and even the story maybe, was a little bit better in just Pocahontas. But in Pocahontas 2, I think the romance was a whole lot more well executed with Ralph than it was with John Smith. With John Smith, it was just like, oh, love at first song. I realize they're a famous couple and whatnot, and I'm not hating on them. They had their own chemistry, but the Ralph and Pocahontas thing kind of just looked more real and actually, it had development. It was like getting to know them and all that and whatnot. It was like an actual relationship. I mean, do some people fall in love at first sight? Sure, but I don't know how well those relationships actually last and whatnot. And also, it was just, the romance was better. And I'm actually glad Pocahontas ended up with Ralph in the end of the movie. And I'm like, you know what? I think it shows the better lad. Because in the freaking second movie, it felt like John Smith, like, completely forgot everything he had been taught. That's the only thing that the second movie probably really ruins for me, because I didn't mind the story either, is that the fact that they kind of made John Smith look like he was kind of an ass. But, anyways, I also liked Mulan 2, and I have no issues, like, with all the sequels where they were talking about with other characters getting hooked up with characters and fighting their own words. I like that. It's not just, I mean, I realize most of the movies are supposed to be all about the characters, but you know what? It's nice to have backstory on all the other characters, too. I mean, it's nice. It's like, why can't they have a happy ending, too? And also, I liked all the Ariel movies. Like, yes, was the prequel probably my least favorite. It was, but I still enjoyed it, and also the second one I really liked. Especially that beginning song. That beginning song of the second movie is just, I love it. But I enjoyed a good number of the sequels that were actually listed in this and whatnot. I don't know how you guys feel, but you're welcome to talk about it in the comment section below, and I'm sorry if I kind of spurred a little hate on the whole Pocahontas thing. But let's see how this goes, see if this test works, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next reaction video. Bye now.